All right, I told you I was going to tell y'all another story. This is a story about me and Robert Perkins. Now, Robert Perkins has been a friend of mine since about, I think, elementary school, long time. And he's probably the best friend, one of the best friends I've got. He's always been there for me, and we've just always been close. And we've had some crazy times together. And I could spend 2 days telling us about the stories of things we done when we were younger, but I'd probably upset some people. But anyway, we done some crazy stuff. So back in 1979, I went to college with Robert over at Faulkner State Junior College. And his room was right next to mine, and there was a connection. There was a bathroom in between each room, so we basically had like an apartment together. And I done some things to Robert that would just, you'd die laughing. And he's done some things to me. But I'm gonna tell you about the time we decided that, see, the girls' dorm was on the other side of the campus, and we'd go over there, and they had windows in those dorms that you just could push in. The girls could lock them, but you could push them in. They had them, you could just reach right on into the room. And if we wanted to go talk to our girlfriend or whatever, they'd let the window down, and we'd lean against the window and talk to them. You could see guys standing all alongside the dorm. We couldn't go in there. Legally anyway, you'd get in trouble if you went in there. There wasn't no men allowed in the girls' dorm. The girls couldn't come in our dorm. One night, me and Robert was sitting around, and I said, Robert, you know those old windows over there all open? I said, and it was probably warm time of year, maybe spring, and I said, we need to do something. I said, scare them girls over there one night. I said, we need to throw something up in there and scare them or something. We sat around talking and thinking. You know, first we thought about going and get an old dead animal and throw up in there, and we didn't do that. And I said, you know, Robert, I know where there's some chickens at. I said, I know where a road is where I would go parking with people to go look at stars. That's all I would do, just take a girl out there and we'd look at stars. And there was a field out there next to this old farmer's house, and I noticed every time I went out there, which was probably once or twice, you know, I was a stargazer. And I said, Robert, I know where there's some chickens at. I said, why don't we go catch some chickens, get some chickens out of that chicken pen, and we'll bring them chickens back over, and every one of them doors or windows that are open over there, I said, we'll throw a chicken up in there. He said, well, let's go. And Robert would do anything I wanted to do. He trusted me, and I trusted him, which was bad because several times we like to got killed. And so we got up in, I had an International Scout, like a SUV. It was one of them long Scout SUVs, about a 72, 73 model. And we jumped in that thing and we drove. It's about, I guess, about 4 or 5 miles from the college. And so we get over there to this old farmhouse. It was sitting over here to the left, had a street light right there behind the house, had a chicken pen back behind it, probably about 35, 40 yards. And I eased up there and I parked, and I told Robert, I said, look, now we're going to go over that fence right there, and we're going to get in that chicken house, and we're going to both grab a couple of chickens. I said, then we're going to get back in this truck. I said, and you better get on back in this truck. I said, because if something happens, I'm gone. I said, you can lay low, and I'll come back and get you later. I said, because I'm not going to get caught over here doing this, because I don't know what the laws are on chicken thieves. And so what I did was I eased up there and I turned the motor off, cut my headlights out, and me and Robert got out. And first we had to go through a barbed wire fence. It was running alongside the highway. We went through that, and we got over to the chicken pen. There was chicken wire. Well, we just squashed that right on down, me and Robert. Now, y'all got to understand Robert. Robert will tell you this. Robert was a pretty good-sized boy back then. I'm talking about a pretty good-sized boy. I don't want to guess no weight, but he'll tell you he was a pretty good-sized boy. And when he went over that fence, he squashed it down. And I was with him, and we went over it, and we went up in that chicken coop and opened the door. And I guess that old farmer shut them up at night, so coyotes or foxes or whatever, bobcat couldn't get them. So I eased that door open. Them chickens didn't even need a flashlight, because what street light gave us just enough light we could see in there. And I grabbed me 2 chickens by the legs. I looked over at Robert. He's fighting 2 of them over there, fighting some chickens over there, and I got out the door whining. And I come out there and I went over that fence pretty quick, went through that barbed wire. And I was about to the truck before I heard Robert start hollering. I looked back toward that chicken pen, and Lord have mercy, a big old dog done got a hold of Robert. He's over there fighting that dog with 2 chickens in his hands. He was swinging a chicken. I've never seen nothing like it. He was swinging a chicken at a dog. And I just said, come on, Robert, come on, man, come on, get in the car. Get in the truck, son, we got to go. That dog was just going, and it wasn't no big dog, it was a little dog about this big. And it was snapping and biting and growling, and Robert was fighting. There was chicken feathers flying all in that backyard. So I said, that's it, I got to go, because the farmer done turned the light on. I seen the lights coming on in the house. I took off. I hollered at Robert, I'll pick you up down the road, Robert. Boom! And I went flying off, man. I went down there about a quarter of a mile or so, and I turned around in the driveway. I couldn't see. Well, actually, I went further than that because I couldn't see what was going on down at the house. I think it was a curve in the road, and I just went down there and turned at the first driveway. Might have been half a mile. I don't know. But I turned there, and I sat there for a minute, and I said, well, I got to go get Robert. And what I did with my chickens, when I opened my door, I just threw them back to the back of my international truck there. And I threw it in the back, and they went all the way back behind. There was 3 rows of seats. They hit in the back row of seats. And them chickens were so scared, they just soiled up. They didn't do anything, just lay there, I guess, because they wasn't hollering or nothing or cackling or whatever. So I said, I got to go get Robert. And I done told him now I'd pick him up. Get down there and get down the road, I'll pick you up. If I can't find you, I'll get you later. So I come around that curve, and when I did, I could see that house, and I saw the back door of that house, and I seen a man. This is the honest truth now. I saw a man standing there with a shotgun in his boxer drawers, coming out that door. He's coming down them steps on that house. I said, Lord, he finna kill Robert. Robert ain't gonna make it. So, over a dadgum chicken. So I took off, I went on by that house, and I went on down, I seen Robert. Now, I told y'all he was a big old boy. Robert was getting it down that road. I about didn't catch Robert. So I flew up there, and Robert, I ain't never seen nothing like this in my life. And this is the honest truth. Robert didn't have but 1 chicken in his hand, and he was running with that chicken hanging down by his leg, and he was getting it downside that road. So I slid up there beside him. I said, get in, Robert, come on, the man's got a shotgun down there. So Robert bounced up in that truck, and I'm going to tell y'all something. When he jumped in that truck, there was chicken feathers stuck all over him. There's blood. I said, oh, Lord, man, that old man done shot you? He said, no. He said, I beat that dog half to death with 1 chicken. I kept 1. I got 1 right here. And I looked at that chicken. You ever seen them old chickens that's made of rubber that people throw around and play with on TV, or a kid might have? That's exactly what that chicken looked like. He done beat every feather off that chicken. That dog done grab that chicken's head and done pull the head slap off of it. And there was blood going everywhere. I said, Robert, hang that chicken out that window and get rid of it. He said, I fought too hard to throw this chicken away. So we rode back to the college with that chicken hanging out that window. And I was laughing so hard I was about to cry trying to drive that truck. Robert, with all them chicken feathers all over and his blood all over. I said, man, are you hurt? Did the barbed wire get you? He said, no, man. He said, I got through all that. He said, but I couldn't get that dang dog off of me. So we went on back over to the college, and of course we went up there and throwed them. I had 2 chickens. I caught them 2 chickens, and Robert had an old dead chicken with no head. And I took my chickens, threw it up in a couple of windows, and Robert threw that old dead chicken up in that window. And we run back over to our dorm, and of course we went to breakfast that morning, and all them girls coming in laughing and talking about how them chickens got thrown in the window last night. It's about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. And one old girl sitting there said, well, I had one thrown in my room. It didn't have no head, it didn't have no feathers on it, blood all over my bed. She said, I called campus police and reported they've been over there taking pictures. She said, I believe it's going to be some type of satanic ritual going on. It didn't have no head, no feathers. And me and Robert looked at one another, and we said, Lord, have mercy. I said, we didn't even think about that. But that's the story about Robert. That's one of the stories about Robert that I'm going to tell. There's a bunch more, but I hope y'all enjoyed it.